What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Broad Street Boys. And today, Caleb, we are back. We are so back. Graduated college successfully. We are back at home, just chilling now. We have jobs starting soon. So here we are, talking straight Phils, finally doing a Phillies episode. I've been waiting to do this ever since the Sixers have been good. I feel like I've been just doing Sixers and a little bit of Eagles. I even did a Flyers one, which I didn't think in a million worlds I would ever do that. But here we are, Phillies, finally. Not many bright spots about this team currently, and we will definitely get into all of this. This is almost like a therapy session for the two of us, because we need to get some stuff off our chest about this team and share our unbiased, but I want to be biased and give like a good, like, happy, like, review of this team and this year, but it's impossible. So Caleb, I'll let you start off. Let me hear your general, I guess, thoughts and feelings about the Phillies. I mean, we haven't done this. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't done a Phillies episode period this entire year. So, go ahead, all you.
So before I get into my thoughts and all that stuff, I think it's been maybe month and a half since the last time I did a show with you. And whenever,
Yes.
like 9 times out of 10, whenever I do a show with you, it's about the Phillies. I think the last time we talked about the Phillies was when they were in the midst of their 10-game losing streak, or right before they started that streak. And like within the past, or honestly, since May started, they were really hot. Like, they won 8 games in a row. Like, they started winning series that they should win. They beat the Pirates, which was, I thought, a really big one for them. Because like, they have really good pitching, and like we swept the Pirates too. We gave it to Skeens. We play Cincinnati, win the first game, and then second game, third game, offense kind of falls through a little bit. And then this past series against Cleveland, which is one that I thought we would and should win, we lose. And our starting pitchers only gave up, 3 or 4 runs the whole series.
Yep.
It's not looking good right now, Evan. And I got to say, a little bit more than a quarter through the season, half the lineup is awful right now. Trey Turner, Mr. 300 mil for 11 or 13 years, whatever it was. A guy like I'm a big Turner guy. I try to stick up for Turner. He's the guy who usually sets the table for the team, gets on base, is usually the biggest run producer, is currently batting around 230, which, by the way, Bryson Stott has passed him in average, which is something I never thought would happen, especially this season.
Same.
And he looks absolutely lost at the plate. Like, I was watching him, I think it was the last game of the Cincinnati series. He's leading off the game. I think he sees like 3 fastballs that were out of the zone. So the count's 3. Fastball right down the middle. He watches it. Fastball inside, fouls it off, counts full. Throw the pitcher, I forget if it was Lodola or whoever, curveball off the plate and in the dirt, and he swings at it. I don't know if he's guessing or if he's just completely lost, but he is someone who I think really has to figure it out right now, especially if the Phils want to make that third wildcard spot. Because I think at this point right now, they will not catch the Braves. In order to do that, they would have to flip a good chunk of that lineup around, and that is something I don't think they will be doing. So, like, honestly, right now, you just got to catch up with all the teams in the NL Central, catch the Padres for that third wildcard spot. But, dude, it is bad. And, like, it sucks, too, because, like, the pitchers are pitching outside of Nola. They've done really well their past couple of starts. Like, Luzardo had a few shaky starts. But, like, if you look at his stats, it's like he should have a better year. I think his expected batting average against him is supposed to be a lot lower than it is right now, because, like, he gives up a lot of soft contact. And with the poor defense behind him, he's not having a lot of help. So he, for the longest time, had one of the higher ERAs in baseball. After his last 2 starts, it has come down a lot. So he's no longer in that category. Painter has passed 3 starts, has started looking a lot better. Like, he's still only going 5 or 6 innings, averaging maybe 4 strikeouts, which is kind of low for him. Like, I thought he would be maybe around 8 strikeouts per appearance, but like he's picking it up.
For
Sanchez, Wheeler, probably the best 1-2 punch in the league, have not given up a run in the month of May. I
Yeah.
think our combined are 6-0 in the month, with all their starts being quality starts. So they're going at least 6 innings or 7
ish. Yeah. Well,
and then you got Nola, which this is a guy who had a rough year last year, and for all the diehard Philly fans, you kind of know that Nola has a bad year and he tends to bounce back.
yeah.
He pitched
Usually.
great in the World Baseball Classic, and I was excited for him this year because I thought he was going to bounce back. He was going to be vintage Nola, the good kind, again. And he just has not been able to figure it out. I think he's had maybe 2 decent starts this season, but that contract is starting to look really bad. He can't locate his fastball. He can't command his curveball, and his other pitches they're not what they used to be.
Yeah, dude,
So,
you're really speaking my mind with Aaron Nola. Like I felt like we literally did a pod where we were like, oh, it's even year Nola. Like it's even year Nola. He crushed in the World Baseball Classic. Like it's time. But yeah, no, this team. By the way, perfect recap. By the way, because that's literally almost exactly how I feel, just in way nicer ways of saying it. Because I would say
I'm trying to be like you said before. I try to have the more optimistic takes because I don't want to bury anyone. It's like despite patches that we've seen since the season started, there are a lot of bright spots, which I highlighted some of them within the pitching. Yohan Duran has been great. Chase Shugart has been phenomenal. Kirkering, he's had a few shaky outings, but I'd say overall he's been really good. And then Harper, Schwarber, Marsh, the past couple of weeks, Stott.
Yeah.
Like
better.
All been good. Harper's been killing it.
Harper's been really good. I mean, Harper did just. I mean, this past series was not the greatest for Harper, but also I'm also trying not to. Well, yeah, but he did go on a stretch of 0 for like 11, so that's also something that But I don't really know how much stock I'm going to take with this specific series because the weather was horrible and the Guardians are pretty good, like pitching wise. Like Gavin Williams is, I think, one of the most underrated pitchers in the entire league. Like I think he's so good, and so young. No one talks about him like next to like Mizorowski or anybody else like that. He was a really like one of their young studs. I feel like no one talks about. But yeah, this team, like the only way that you can really describe right now, Caleb, is like they're just not fun to watch. They're just not fun. Like I don't sit down anymore to watch this team specifically recently, obviously, but I haven't sat down and be like, oh wow, I'm really enjoying watching the Phillies in a long time. Like especially hitting, because pitching wise, they have been so good. Wasted an 8-inning Christopher Sanchez masterclass on Friday, wasted that. And even a Zach Wheeler masterclass on Saturday, crushed it. Thank God that they scored 3 runs. And then even like you get like Andrew Painter was pretty good yesterday. He went 6 innings, two runs,
5 or 6 innings.
Yeah,
only 3 strikeouts, but it didn't look like there was a lot of hard contact.
Yeah, I see. Painter's not really that like. People need to, and honestly, I feel like the two of us have done a very good job about this. But we need to view Andrew Painter as like a process and not like he needs to perform now. He's been much better recently, and I believe that those strikeouts will come. If you think about it, it's so rare for a really young kid to come in and just dominate unless your name's like Paul Skeens. Like even like Mizorowski, actually, I was just watching him on I think it was MLB Network, but he just let up his first run in the entire month of May. So he's killing it in year 2. But people forget that he started off last year with a 6 ERA. You know what I mean? So it's like stuff like that you need to give him a year or 2, and then he'll start to show his real colors, and you're like, oh, this guy's a stud. And I really do think that those strikeouts will come for Andrew Painter. And people also forget that he's coming off of a really bad an arm injury, where obviously I think it was in the very beginning of the minors, and then before that his fastball was around 98, 99. Now it's more like 96, which is fine, but that will also come with time. So we need to take a little deep breath with Andrew Painter, and he's been really good. Like, or not really good. He's been good enough recently, so you saw. And I feel like I like having Painter as the 5 compared to when we had like Taijuan Walker as like the 5, and having both Painter and Walker in there was really hard. It's really hard to watch. But yeah, so I not really like a big issue with Andrew Painter, but yeah, dude. I mean, and you also hit on it. Trey Turner has been an absolute abomination this entire year. I mean, I've gone on record. Caleb knows this. I am not a big Trey Turner guy. I don't really get the appeal. I get why he was. I got the appeal like when we got him, and I was a big Trey guy. I was at the first standing ovation game, which was awesome. But the fact, something about Caleb, and I think I texted you this. Something about him laughing about how much he swings at the first pitch or the first few pitches when he's asked a question about that next to his locker. Something about him laughing about that and like shrugging off the question really pissed me off. Like specifically this year, like because it's not a joke. Like it's not. You are one of the worst, if not the worst, leadoff hitters in the entire league. You are literally hitting 230. That's what he's hitting. He's hitting around 230 as your leadoff on base percentage guy. Like that's horrendous. That's so bad. And if I also told somebody this recently. Trey Turner is right now specifically. He's good at one thing, and that's swinging. Not really making contact. Really good at striking out. Swinging specifically. He's just really great at swinging, and it's like so hard to watch as like a baseball guy because your leadoff hitter should be seeing at least 5 pitches, and he sees at like 3, and whether that's a 3-pitch strikeout or he'll like get up, like touch the ball, I guess eventually. But like it's that's really frustrating for me because in my opinion, I just think that the leadoff hitter really sets the tone, and when you have someone that is supposed to be setting the tone, striking out every single time, or grounding out, or popping out, or showing off ugly swings, that actually hurts the entire rest of the lineup. Because then people like Harper probably also doesn't want to move to 2 because he's probably seeing 3 pitches from Trey Turner and probably wants to see more pitches when Kyle Schwarber gets that. Like people also forget about that. So it's like stuff like that really bothers me about Trey Turner. And I will say this Phillies team, Caleb, I guarantee you're going to agree with me. This Phillies team gets a weird pass a lot. Like, for example, I put a tweet out for the Broad Street Boys, and I was just like, it was just like a very common like I have not had fun watching the Phillies like this weekend, and like they like ruined 3 really solid starts, whatever. But then I had like 2 or 3 comments, Caleb, that were like defending that, saying that maybe, and then they were all centered around how maybe the Guardians are just good at pitching. Like, why are we giving them such a pass? Do we don't give people like Joel Embiid a pass. We don't give Jalen Hurts a pass. Like I'm so sick of like giving this team a pass. It's like frustrating, and I feel like people are now finally coming to their senses about actual accountability for this team, and I feel like that this team doesn't like it. And it just makes me laugh. It just makes me laugh because now this team, we're actually the 2 of us, our favorite team in the entire city is finally getting some accountability, and then they can't take it. It's like it's frustrating. And I don't think that we talked about this yet, but if the common fan was like firing Rob Thompson is going to be like the greatest thing ever, and like that they're gonna switch it immediately and everything's gonna change, that's obviously you're wrong now. Like we've now lost 2 very winnable series back to back to 2 teams from Ohio. Like you should win those series. And if you think that Don Mattingly now being the coach is the reason why we were winning, he better be the reason why we're losing too. Because like I always liked Rob Thompson. We have actually been on record saying how we don't love Rob Thompson, but I thought Rob Thompson had a very like I felt like the locker room respected him to a point, but I think eventually like the vision was just lost, which is fine. And yeah, so that's just how I feel. Sorry, that was a long rant. It's wrong.
Yeah, it is wrong because I mean, I don't know if I said this on the last podcast that we did, but it's like the manager is like it's the scapegoat for either a hole that is there, or like if the team like the Phillies right now, if they're just playing poorly, the manager they get the kick. Don Mattingly he's done well. He's done well. I definitely think the players respect
Yeah.
him. The only thing, and I've kind of thought about this recently, because I've seen a couple of people being like, for a manager, Mattingly is not afraid to hide anything about like his thoughts after a game.
Yeah, I respect
He's
that.
not going to be the manager to finish the year, and he's been the manager for about a month now.
Yeah,
Like about a month. I wonder.
Yeah.
Like just listening to him like after the games, it kind of seems like he's done being the manager. Like he's kind of ready for them to find someone else to fill his spot. Because like when the Phillies brought Mattingly on, he openly said that he did not want to manage at all. Because a lot of people thought, oh, like they'll bring in Mattingly, and if something happens with Thompson, then Mattingly can take over. Like he's a ball player or was a ball player, and he knows how the game works. I wonder if maybe there's just a little bit of burnout there, or
for sure. I mean,
like those
Mattingly's
are
been everywhere.
I don't know what's actually going on. Those are just like some of my thoughts and what I'm getting from like listening to him after the games. But at the same time, it's like I do like how he makes players accountable for their mistakes. Like there was a clip of him ripping into Felix Reyes after a bonehead play that he made when he was on the bases. Like I like seeing the stuff like that. We never really saw Thompson do that. I don't know if it was like the cameras just not being on the dugout or if Thompson did that in private, but I do like seeing that.
And it actually, unfortunately, it kind of proves Nick Castellanos' like kind of point that like a player's manager is better than like anything else.
Yeah.
And I feel like that could be like true in a lot of ways. I feel like I do like that. I like a lot of the things that Mattingly does like in the game work a lot of the time, like the double steals, like how he's bunting way more. I don't know if you noticed that they're bunting way more.
Yeah.
When was that? It was a few weeks ago, but it was like an extra inning game, and you don't like obviously like the guy started second, and he like had someone bunt, and then they got to third, and then there was a sac fly. He's all about like kind of generating runs, which I love because this team. I mean, you'd agree, like this team's issue, like throughout the postseason, has been generating runs. Not necessarily like not hitting home runs or whatever. It's just been the overall generation of runs during the game, like and not just relying on like the one big inning. And that's obviously been a thing this year. Like literally the running joke on Twitter, actually on everything, was the fact that in the first like 4 weeks, like the Phillies scored in like 1 run a game.
Yeah, like they were scoring 1 inning out of the whole 9.
That's what I meant. 1 inning, they will just score all the runs, and then they have nothing. Like they want like, what was the insane streak that they started on? It was something like the Phillies were held scoreless in like 30 of their first 36 innings, or something ridiculous. It
was something really bad.
It was something horrendous, and I feel like that's kind of finally people are seeing that that's really the issue. Like pitching is perfect. Pitching is almost like the cherry on top, you know, especially in the postseason. That is, pitching is so important during the regular season, but in the postseason, pitching and bullpen, like you want to have it be like so important or whatever, and then, but we've seen like when the bats go cold, and you can't score runs, and you need to score more than at least 2 runs usually, in the postseason. However, I like how I'm talking like about the postseason as if we have a spot in the postseason currently. Like we don't. So it's stuff like that. Something else that I think that we should definitely mention, that we've mentioned off camera, is right field is still an issue. Garcia is horrendous. Go ahead, please go ahead.
No, you finish.
Okay, because like Dave Dombrowski really. I mean, I like the Garcia like idea way more than like the Max Kepler idea, if that makes sense. Like I totally respect the effort. They're kind of letting Castellanos, one of the worst defenders in the entire league, kind of walk for one of the best right field defenders in the entire league, if not the best, right? So I like the idea. And Garcia, obviously, we talked about this, but he very much gave off the vibes of someone that needed like a change of scenery. And I still feel like I'm not giving up on him yet, but God, he has been so bad. I've never seen a guy, Caleb, change his batting swing mid-game or like I don't know if you've also people watching as well. I don't know if we've all noticed, but he can't see the ball like on the other side of the batter's box. I don't know
No,
how to describe it,
no.
and they keep throwing it there. So eventually, you'd think like it would click, and no. And then he went 4 for 63 or something ridiculous, and now he's what batting 200 ish like now.
Yeah, he's barely better offensively than Castellanos.
Yes, barely. But so although so I'm again we're trying to be positive, right? We're trying to be positive. The one thing I do like about Garcia hitting wise, he does work a pretty good count. Like if you notice, a lot of his at bats go to at least 6 pitches or 5 pitches. I don't know if you really noticed. I don't know if anybody's noticed that, but a, a lot of them are deep counts, and I feel like he just keeps like digging himself a hole. Because he fouls off more balls than I've ever seen a player doing like a specific at bat. Like he's always fighting, which I love. But yeah, dude, it's just an issue, and I feel like we're just beating a dead horse whenever we're saying that we still need a power like above average right-handed bat. Like I feel like we've been saying this ever since 2022, or actually probably earlier. Like and Hoskins was kind of that guy. We just wanted somebody on top of Hoskins, but then Hoskins is gone, and then you're just like, what the and whatever. But yeah, go ahead.
That's so yeah. Going back to 22, Hoskins, I'd say was the last true right-handed power bat that we have had. That was 4 years ago. So it's been 4 years since we've had a righty who has hit more than 20 home runs. I mean, I think Turner did it once. Bohm hit 20 in 2023, I think. But Hoskins was like the last dude that could easily go out there and hit you 30 home runs. Yeah, Garcia, like I don't know. I'm kind of on the same page as you, where it's like I haven't quite like I did go on the Twitter page the other day and be like, get Garcia off the team.
I saw.
Just like he's hard to watch offensively. Defensively, he's great.
Yeah.
He has a cannon for an arm. He has pretty good range. He can get to most stuff that's hit out there. But like you said, he can't pick up on the sweeper or the slider that's on the outside of the plate. He is late on every single fastball. And I think 3 or 4 times this year, like he has changed his swing and how he stands in the box.
Yeah.
And I don't think it would I'm at a loss of words, but how is it hard to find a right fielder who is a right-handed bat that has decent pop? Like why I don't get why it's so hard.
I don't either. It's not even that it's like super hard. I just think like why can't they just get someone to like make us believe? I don't know, or like someone like good, or at least try and bring someone up that's not Otto Kemp. Like try to do something.
If you look at our notes, I think I have towards the bottom a little segment getting more into that, but let's just kind of let's stay on the whole right field subject right now.
Sure.
Let's stay on that for now.
Please. What are like your favorite like top like 2 or 3 names? Do you think that we should probably try to go after, like regardless of like contracts and all of that? But yeah,
regardless of contracts and if we make the playoffs this year or not, Joe Adell is at the top. Great defender. He has a ton of pop. Well, he's younger side too, right? I think he's like 20,
not old.
Maybe 28, maybe 29.
Yeah,
like somewhere around there. Should hit around 250, which I mean, if you look at the team's batting average, it's not 250 is higher. I can promise you that. I think he is at the top of the list for people who I would want in right field. A move that I don't really hate, but I could definitely see backfiring. This is more so just like it kind of fills a need. He's young and could develop to be really good. But it would be trading for Kobe Mayo from the Orioles. Like it seemed like the power is there. There's no denying that. He just has such a stiff swing that I mean it would be an experiment essentially. But if decent fielder, the pop is already there. You just gotta almost tweak his approach a little bit.
Yeah, and he's so young too. Like if you really think about it, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've said this to a few of my friends. I think if Kobe Mayo ended up being a Philadelphia Philly, I think people. I don't know how much I would listen to like WIP and listen to Philadelphia people saying Kobe Mayo on Delco.
QB
That will
Mayo.
hurt my ears. I actually like Kobe Mayo. Like people forget that he's only 24. Like he's
Yeah,
so
he's
young.
24.
So
He's very young.
and I just looked it up too. Joe Adele's 27. So also young.
Yeah.
So and I also like the idea you put it in these notes, and I like it a lot. But imagine trying to go out and grab a guy like Randy Rosemary. I feel like that'd be awesome. And correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't him aren't him and Adolis like best friends? Am I making that up? Adolis is best friends with somebody like good. I think it's Randy. Because and I only bring this up because I think didn't Adolis like rob him of something in like that All-Star game in 2023 in Seattle? It was something like that, and I think they're friends. But I actually really like the idea of Randy brings something that this team is definitely lacking on outside of Garcia, and that is just absolute a little bit of like a swagger, like something that you can't really describe. He's just fun to watch. Like I don't know how to describe it, but I know that this is not the greatest year for Randy Rosarena, but I feel like and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like if the best version of Randy Rosarena is a highly engaged Randy Rosarena. I feel like he's a guy that will hit you a home run in the like World Series, like
Yeah,
and
like
because
he's clutch.
the moment's just higher. Yeah, he's clutch. I guess that's what I'm saying, but it's something like that. And he seems like a great guy, and he's kind of crazy, but that I feel like this team's lacking crazy. And I appreciate that he's not all home runs either. He's a lot of extra base hits and singles, and does pretty much all the things that you need to do to win.
Especially this year, I think he has either 4 or 5 home runs, but like he's hitting 300. I
Exactly.
think he's doing pretty well in the stolen base department as well.
Definitely.
The only thing with him, and I'll throw my other guy in there,
Sure.
Randy. I would put down for if the Phillies by the trade deadline are a legitimate playoff contender,
Yeah.
whether it is like let's say the Braves they slow down a little bit, the Phillies within the next week or two, like really because think about it. I think this is what I was going to say earlier. The Phillies right now
Yeah.
remind me of 2023, where
Yeah.
they had a really slow start. They weren't 10 games below 500, but
Yeah.
they kind of struggled. Like they were hovering around 500 till it hit June. And then from June on, they were the hottest team in baseball, which
Yeah.
I mean, it worked because they played the Marlins first round of the wild card, blow them out of the water the first 2 games, played the Braves, beat them 3 of the 4 games, and like they lost to the Diamondbacks because they slow down a little bit. But if they play their cards right now, which
Yeah.
I think is kind of filling the hole at right field, or maybe trying to change things up at third base as well. And you put this down. I didn't really think of it a whole lot. But catcher,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
getting like another catcher. Like obviously we're keeping JT.
Yeah.
The
Tough
bat
stuff.
is not what it was. His defense is great.
It is.
Like
It
you,
is.
you can't deny his defense is great, but maybe
100%.
getting a backup catcher who is a little more competent with the bat. Like if they play the cards right, it's like we could very well be in that spot. So
100%.
I would have Randy and Taylor Ward both
Yeah.
under that list of names for guys that I would trade for if we are
Yeah.
in the playoff hunt. Taylor Ward, he's hitting. I checked today,
Mhm.
265. He only has 1 home run, but he
Yeah.
has very good bat to ball skills right now, as well as drawing a lot of walks. I think
So
he is a dude that we could probably put in the 4 hole. Like he may not have the pop that he had last year, but also the thing with him, he's a right-handed bat.
yes.
I don't know why the hell Baltimore did this, but like they pushed back that left field wall so
Yeah.
far back. So like that's a hard place for any right-handed bat to hit a home run in. In Citizens Bank Park, I think he would play a little bit better there. I think his home run numbers would certainly go up. If he was in Philly, he definitely would not be at 1 home run. I
Yeah.
will say that. But those are 2 guys where if we are in the hunt and seriously in the hunt, I would trade for because I could see us maybe giving up a little bit of a haul for Rosarena. For
Yeah,
Taylor Ward, I don't see us giving up as much,
I agree. And
but
I think it's a 1 year deal for Ward too.
I think they picked up the remainder of his contract from
They did.
his time with the Angels. I think he's
Okay.
a free agent after this year anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
So I
See,
mean, he would be half a season dude in Philly.
I kind of like the Ward one, actually for the exact reason what you just said, that like if he sucks, then we just let him walk. Like, and that's actually, especially if we're buyers and we're like trying to get into the postseason, like that wouldn't be a bad idea. Yeah, no, I love all those ideas, and I'm really happy that you brought up the catcher spot too, because I definitely wanted to mention this as well. I'm really frustrated with not necessarily just JT Realmuto, it's the management of JT Realmuto.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea that they could just throw Rafael Marchand out there and just expect him not to be a total hole on offense is like it's baffling, honestly, and I feel like so out of character for Don Mattingly as somebody that I would think is very aware of like everything he used to play, whatever. But for Mattingly to get like asked like questions like why isn't JT playing every day type of thing, and then Mattingly says freely that yeah, I think it was something like, this is a very loose quote, but it was something like, at this point in JT's career, like we don't want him to play every day for his health, which is great, cool. But I feel like you would say that if you had somebody as his backup, either going to be his like the guy right after when JT retires, or a someone that is really good at something, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like either they're really good defensively or they're really good offensively. And no offense to Rafael Marchand, I hope you prove me wrong. You're not great at either one of those. like you know what I mean though. Like
He's not terribly defensively.
no, he's not. But I'm just saying, like it's still a drop off from what JT is. It's
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
I
like
don't know.
especially when it comes to like calling pitches, there's definitely
Yeah,
there's definitely a difference. His pop
yeah,
time's pretty on par with JT though.
it is. And
He's got a decent arm for his size.
and maybe I feel like this because I'm good friends with you and you're a catcher and you know more than anybody, but like that catcher spot is one of the most important spots on the entire team because you're literally calling plays, like you're doing stuff like that. So having like a consistent catcher there, if like when they're healthy, I think is more important than what people think. And Rafael Marchand is a total hole offensively. Other than, I mean, I guess it is cool that he's a switch hitter. I guess it's fine, but at a point he was literally hitting point zero like 8-9 or something like horrendous. I'm just like, what do you expect? Like put him out there, you know? But yeah, so that's just my kind of idea on the catcher spot. And to this day, like I still don't really get why we gave JT 3 years if he's gonna play 5 games a week. Like it's a little confusing to me, especially if like it's one thing if he was like really good like last year, and you're just like, I know that he's old and I'm just gonna give him some money and whatever. But like he was good last year, but he wasn't great last year. Like he was
No.
good. So the fact that they're just throwing money at the wrong people is just frustrating. And I know that for people watching, but don't forget that was their hole when they couldn't get Bo Bichette. They immediately paid JT Realmuto. Like that's who that should be. And listen, Bo Bichette does not look good in New York, but we know what Bo Bichette can be. So
No,
yeah,
but at the same time, you never know what could have happened if he ended up in Philly rather
yes,
than being with the Mets. Because I do think that either Soto or Lindor is just an absolute
yeah,
meathead, toxic dude in that locker room. Like, I don't know which of the two it is. Because it honestly seemed like more of the problems came out when Soto got there. So I'm
yeah,
gonna say Soto's the issue. Because I mean, when he was with San Diego, there were issues in locker room there with a lot of the egos. Who
yeah.
was there? Soto. He goes to the
So
Mets.
yeah,
What happens? There's locker room issues. So like, who knows? Like Bichette could have come to Philly. He could have. I mean, I still think he'd be better than Bohm.
yeah,
Um,
same.
it seems like he's starting to figure it out a little bit right now. But like they speaking like they the thing about the Mets that I kind of wish we had right now is they have a lot of good young talent that's kind of waiting to come up. Like they called up
Yeah.
AJ Ewing the other day, and
Yep.
like he's done pretty well so far. I was like, yeah, we don't have that, and they have a lot of
No.
holes. We have some holes, but if we want to fill those holes, we really don't have a whole lot of people in the minor leagues unless we want to do. And if you go all the way to the bottom of the notes,
Yeah.
this is what I call the Washington National Prospect Jump. And this is what they used to do with the guys like Trey Turner, Anthony Rendon. They did it with Juan Soto. Soto is an outlier because he came up and was just an absolute stud. But they used to pull guys straight from AA. AAA, they kind of treated as like a rehab for dudes who were either like just needed some time off from the majors or coming back from injury.
Yep.
So internal fixes for right field. Yes, we are going back to right field.
Yeah,
some internal fixes I have there are Keaton Anthony, who I believe right now is starting up his rehab in single A.
I think so too. I can check that if you want.
I know he's in single A. I think he came back within the past week or so.
Yeah.
But like he's a dude who like he's solid. He's got a build kind of similar to Dylan Cruz, righty bat. He's got pop. I don't know if he's like. I think he's a left fielder. Could probably play a little bit of right field.
Single A, by the way. You're right.
Yeah, single A.
Yeah, he's good. I mean,
there's Gabriel Ancones, who did you see the ball he hit the other day?
Yes, moonshot.
Like, I would love that in Citizens Bank Park, but he's another lefty bat. Even though I am high on him, we really don't need him right now, so we can wait for him to be healthy. In terms of outfielders, the only other dude is Raylan Heredia, who like he's doing pretty well at AA right now, but I think he still needs to develop a little bit more. So internally, I think Keaton Anthony is going to be the dude who could step up and fill that hole in right field, but let's see what happens.
I feel the same way. I actually totally agree that like this is our AAA is not good. That's kind of why I'm a little frustrated because AAA is just not great. And the fact that you are totally right that I mean me personally, I'm way more excited about our AA team than our AAA team. I feel like that's
good.
They're so good because Dante Nori's down there as well, and no one's talking about him, and he's tearing it up too. And isn't Arun Escobar in AA too, or is he triple?
So no, he is AA. I was listening. I think it was Jim Salisbury said that they have Escobar playing second base and third base.
Okay, cool.
Two positions that we do have. I'd say more so third base than second base, kind of like a hole at.
Yes.
And the podcast I listen to that I get some of my stuff or ideas from, I think it was Ruben Amaro Jr. said, the only downside with Escobar is he's on, I think he's like 5'8", 5'10". Like he's not like a tall dude, but he's a little heavy. So he said another thing Escobar has to do is watch his weight a little bit, which is it's kind of weird. Yeah. It's like he steals bases. Like I think he's 10 for 10 on the year so far with stolen bases. He's a guy who I'm really high on, and there's a possibility that I think it's a very slight chance, and injuries would have a lot to do with it. But he's a dude who could get called up at some point this year.
Totally, him. I mean, I'm a little frustrated about like they're not very clear what Aiden Miller's deal is either.
No,
and it's a little frustrating because I feel like we would either give like I don't know good thoughts about Aiden Miller, but we have no idea where Aiden Miller is. I think he's still hurt and rehabbing, which is fine, but then all of a sudden I'll see like a random tweet from like a week ago, and it's like, oh, he hasn't swung a bat yet, and you're just like, what? So it's like stuff like that, which is a little frustrating, being our top prospect currently outside of Andrew Painter. And I need people to also do one more thing, and I know you're going to agree with me, but can we pump the brakes a little bit on Gage Wood? I love Gage Wood, and I feel like he brings so much fire, and he's just fun to watch. But if we bring up Gage Wood, and then he sucks, I don't think people understand what that does for a rookie's confidence, especially early on. So I need Gage Wood to not only do well in Reading, I want him to tear it up in Reading because that's he got
Well, he
called out the other day.
went what? It was three innings,
Yeah,
6 strikeouts, two
which is
hits,
great.
1 run.
I need to see that a little more consistently, if that makes sense. Like I'm so afraid of doing the like classic Spencer Howard thing that we always used to do with pitchers specifically and bring them up way too early and then they won't be great because they're 22, 23. So obviously they're not going to be that good. And then he feels like all the expectations and then you send him down and then he gets worse. I don't want that to happen to Gage Wood because I really think that Gage Wood could be a stud either out of the bullpen or as a long man or whatever. I think he could be awesome. Please.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No?
I think he's a dude, one way or another, we are going to see by the end of the season. Like if we're in playoff contention, I think he makes the bullpen. I don't see why you don't have a dude who can pump 100, not be at, even if he makes a handful of appearances. I don't see why you don't at least try it, because he's got to be better than some of the dudes that we have in there right now. Like Jonathan Bolin, he has good stuff. His command is not always there. Tanner Banks, straight BP. Straight batting.
He's been okay recently, but yes, straight BP.
He's been better, but he has ebbs and flows where it's like sometimes he looks really well, and then sometimes it's like, all right, what the hell are we doing?
So I get it, and I think I only disagree because he's actually 23. Like that's my only thing, but and maybe it's just a me thing, and it probably is just a me thing, but I'm just so not used to all these college guys like not how do I say this? I'm not used to these college guys like Paul Skeens that are in the minors for 9 months and then they come up and then they do well. Like
that's going to be the new formula. It's like, yes,
it is.
The Phillies will probably be one of the few teams that still drafts high school players in the early rounds. But I mean, honestly, I think taking anyone who Brandon just texted me. Okay. Whatever. So my grandma's car is still here and just figuring that out. Good for him.
Fun.
But yeah, like getting anywhere from like a solid college school that did well. Yeah. That's gonna be the way to go, because it's like you just said, you're in the minors for maybe a year and then you come up and making an immediate impact.
Yeah, and it's 100% a me thing then, because I'm just not used to it. But I feel like people like me should get used to it, because it really is the new formula. And Gage Wood, and I feel like Gage Wood, and like I'm not putting him next to Paul Skeens. I'm not saying that. Don't clip this, anybody. Don't clip this. But all I'm saying is that Gage Wood, like Paul Skeens, has pitched in really big games, and Gage Wood hasn't just done well, he's excelled. He's had that no hitter with 16 or 19 strikeouts.
18.
That is 18. That is one of the greatest stat lines games I have ever heard in any level of baseball, or at least any level.
It was in the College World Series.
In the College World Series, in super high leverage, and I think didn't he throw like 125 pitches? It was something ridiculous. And I feel like you kind of have to if you're going to have 18 strikeouts and pitch all 9. So yeah, he is a stud. He's a stud. But yeah, Gage Wood is definitely somebody on my list that I need to eventually see, but we will see about that. But yeah, I think Gage Wood's a good idea. Or Griffin Burkholder also. Sorry, I was just looking at our notes. Griffin Burkholder could also be an idea too. I mean, and he's really good. And I feel like if the Phillies, I feel like the Phillies need to pick a direction of where they want to go. Would you agree? Like they need to be like, okay, either we're going to go all in on these last few years of JT Realmuto's contract and, kind of go on in that way, or kind of pump the brakes a little bit and start developing these guys. If that makes sense.
I wish they would pick up the Rays formula of pumping the brakes, but still producing great talent. Like Burkholder, he's in single A right now. I think he's 22 or 23. He was a high school guy that they picked up, was pretty good last year. He's starting to pick it up a lot right now. So I wonder if in the next week or two he gets called up to Double A. I think he is valuable because he's one of the outside of Francisco Rentera. He is
Yeah,
one of the few right-handed outfield bats that we have. Like I know I listed Heaton Anthony in there.
yeah,
Um, like he's the only other dude who is ranked pretty high and is a right-hander.
yeah, and
Right-handed
he's
bat.
good. And obviously, we have a need for that. I got to tell you that with a smile on my face. So, I mean, I really don't think we'll see Griffin like this year, obviously, but
No.
it's more like a late next year, just down the road. But but the whole idea why I bring this up, it's they need to pick a direction of maybe trying to develop these players a little bit. But I also something that I do appreciate too, and you'll definitely agree with this. I like that they're testing out more of the international contracts and international players. We just signed that one pitcher from
I
Korea,
know.
and but think about it, like there is so much like untapped potential across the sea. It's like not even funny. Finding like these random guys from either Japan, who is not random in like Japan or Korea, I feel like is a good idea, and it's obviously worked. Like think like I and again, I bring this up because it's very relevant because I feel like all you heard about Murakami was that he can't hit fastballs, that he can't do this, that he can't do that, and then eventually it got to the point where no one wanted him, and he went to the White Sox. And look at him now; he's smashing. It's stuff like that, and actually, I just thought of it too. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. It's not
The
Tatsuya
third baseman.
Imai. No, there's a stud pitcher on the Astros. That's not Tatsuya Imai. Like it's another Japanese-born pitcher who
I
is
know who you're
a
talking about.
stud. That guy is
I don't know his
awesome.
name either.
He has one of, if not the best sweeper in the entire league. And this is one of his first years, if not his first year. And he's been so good. It's like players like that actually will come across like the Pacific Ocean and come to us. Like they're really good. But I like that we're trying. Like we just signed that pitcher out of Korea. We have way up. I keep seeing. I feel like tweets that we have so many like scouts now, like all over, and we did not used to have that. And you remember, like we try to get a bunch of people, but we would throw like no money at them and then expect them to come here. And obviously they're going to pick the Dodgers over us. You know what I mean? That's closer to their home, and Otani's there. So why would you not throw a little bit of money, a little bit more money at them? But yeah, I don't know. Do you agree? Like is that a good sign? Do you think?
I know Preston Mattingly. He did like a little interview where he basically said he wants to try to test the international waters a little bit more
Yeah,
and build up the scouting over there. So like I think there'll probably be another dude or two out there that we probably sign within this
yeah,
year. Uh, I didn't like trading away Griff McGarry
yeah.
for the international pool money.
That
It's
was
like
just so dumb.
I get why we're doing it, but the other and Tatsuya Mai is a great example of this. I would
Yeah,
only really be aggressive for these players if they played with like usual MLB regulated balls. Because Mai came
yeah,
over, struggled, and he kept saying like this is a different ball than what I'm used to. It's like I have to adjust. I have to adjust and
yeah.
stuff with the mound and all of that. It's like then you have guys like Shohei, Yoshi Yamamoto, my God,
Got it.
and Shoto Imanaga
Yeah.
sometime, where it's like yeah, they pitch well. So
Mhm.
I feel like that less of a wild card, but not quite a full house. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
Wow.
saying?
Big cards guy. Big cards guy.
Big cards guy. Big.
I like that though. Someone else that we've texted about him, like Alex McFarland is someone I would like to see up eventually as well.
I thought
Yeah.
a couple of weeks ago that they added him to the 40-man roster, and I thought they
Yeah.
called him up from AAA, and they didn't do anything with him. He's the guy
No,
who I think would make a really big difference in the bullpen.
I totally agree. It's especially if someone like gets hurt or goes down or something. Like I
He
think
should
he's a
be the
great
first
kind
dude
of plug
up.
guy. I totally agree. Like don't play around with throwing Tanner Banks out there and just expecting something to happen. If something like that were to happen, like go do something. Bring someone up. And plus, there's not a whole lot of downside to bringing him up because, especially again, he'll either probably come up if someone gets hurt. So bring him up, see what he's got. If it's good enough, then I don't know, like send Bolin down or something. I don't know. Yeah. So he didn't he crush spring training too?
Yeah.
Like he was good in spring training. So like I don't really understand training. I don't understand their hesitation with this, but whatever. But I definitely wanted to mention him. I think you mentioned this before. What's your thoughts on using kind of Rinconis as like a trade asset, if that makes sense? Or what do you think like his value is at? Do you think? Because
I think like, his value, I think, is higher than a lot of people think. So looking at,
I agree with you.
The list of Phillies top prospects, Gabriel Rinconis is number 6. He is at high A right now. He's rehabbing, but all the dudes in front of him, I'll tell you the 5. It's Dante Nori, Arun Escobar, Francisco Rentera, Gage Wood, and Aiden Miller. So he's not just like minor league depth. Like he is a dude who I think could he's an impact bat. He has struggled against lefties. I'm pretty sure he's doing better this year so far. Small margin against lefties.
Yeah.
I'd say he's slightly below defender, but I mean, he is a dude who could develop to be a really good left-handed power bat.
Totally. And
so he could probably be a trade piece. And I mean, don't forget, we still have Moses Chase down there who could. I don't know exactly when he'll be ready, but in terms of eye candy trade pieces, I know a lot of teams, and this is going back to last year's trade deadline, a lot of teams like Arun Escobar and Dante Nori. Yeah. I just don't think the Phillies want to give up, especially Nori. I know they don't want to give up Nori, especially since after the World Baseball Classic, a lot of team managers are if he was in my system, he would be on the starting roster.
Yeah.
Obviously, that says a lot about the Phillies' depth at the major league level because Marsh is good. Crawford's a rookie. He's he'll get it. And then this was before the season started, but they have Garcia, and I don't think they're in any rush to bring him up. But I'd say if they are going to make a trade and they have at least one player on the major league roster in that trade, I could see Rincones being a dude who goes back and
I agree. It's because he's an interesting piece because he's definitely very offensive minded in a nice way. I feel like that's a nice way of saying that he's not great at defense, but offensively he's awesome. We just don't necessarily need a power lefty, if that makes sense. We already have Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper. It's not necessarily a big need. So I feel like using him to go out and grab someone else. I mean, obviously he's not going to be the only piece in these deals, but to grab a Randy Rosarena or someone else. Obviously he's not the only piece in that, but to have him be one of the pieces, it was definitely good for other teams as well. Okay, so what else do we need to talk about?
We talked about right field was a big one. We touched a little bit on catching. The thing with catchers is yes, we probably would take someone who is more of a backup type dude, but I mean across the league it's kind of hard to find catching depth. I'd say this is kind of one, and I'm sure it would include, this dude's name is a little bit of a mouthful, but he is good nonetheless. Aloribus Floribus. I think I butchered that. I'm kind of frozen right now. But it's he's a 20-year-old catcher, right-handed, and he's doing really well right now. I don't know if you pay attention to any of the minor league pages that are on Instagram, but it's every few weeks or so he is on the single A. I believe he's single A. Team of the week.
Okay.
So
I think that's a good sign.
Either I know they're not ready to call him up, but there's Agustin Ramirez, who he has a lot of power, but his downside is that he's probably the worst defensive catcher in the league. But then it's you have JT as the starter. So if you have JT doing 4 or 5 days, and you have Ramirez doing too. It's like if he's behind JT and he's learning from him, he could turn out to be a really a valuable piece moving forward.
Totally. And he kills the Phillies too, by the way. So
Yeah.
can we not
Like
forget about that? He
he killed
destroys.
us. He put up 20 home runs last year, his rookie year.
Yeah.
Was off to a bit of a slow start this year. I think his average was he was below 200. I just don't know how low it was, but they sent him down. I have not heard anything about him since. They might view him as more of a DH now, so I really don't know if the Phillies would be aggressive with him or. But it's I have no idea what's going on there or like what they could do.
I think like talent wise, he's great. I like he has it. But I actually really like your point that I feel like if we did get him, two things actually. If we did go and grab him, I don't think it would cost that much because he's definitely had a down year, or not cost as much. More like it would cost less now compared to last year. So that's number one. Number two, I totally agree that I feel like if as a young catcher, I think he's like what 25.
Dude, I think he might be 20. Or he's either 20 or 21.
Okay, either way, I feel like learning from how old?
24.
24.
I thought he was much younger.
I feel like learning from someone like JT Realmuto, consistently one of the best defensive catchers in the entire league with one of the highest pop times, even now at age 34, 35. I feel like that'd be awesome for him to learn and just kind of like develop as there's way less pressure on him too. And that's definitely got to be a thing why he's not slumping, but definitely not hitting as well. But he probably feels the pressure being the guy in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Not from the fans because they don't have many fans, but it's more from like the front office. But I feel like he'd be fun on this team as well. One more thing I would like to mention is Brad Keller has been weirdly disappointing. He really went for like one of my like that's like the safest pick or safest pickup I've ever seen type of like player to kind of underwhelming. Would you agree? Like I was expecting like the Brad Keller from last year's Cubs. Like that's what I was expecting. But yeah,
dude, bullpen pitchers are so weird to me because it's like he got so used to the closer role.
Yeah,
and he comes over here where like we have a set closer. I don't know if that changes the way he pitches or whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're telling him something different, but it's almost like it's hot or cold. It's 50-50. Is he going to go 3 up, 3 down, or is he going to give up 3 hits or run and then get bailed on a double play ball?
Yeah, it's so he's a weird one too because it's not like we just kind of brought him up. He's being paid a decent amount of money to be here. And
it's a 2-year contract.
Yeah, and the fact that I'm not gonna lie, I watched a lot of the past 2 series just because I've been home, and I feel like I didn't even see him once, which is like what? Like you know what I mean? Like you're being paid.
I don't think they trust him that much. I mean, you got dudes like Shugart. I know Boland's kind of in that same park as Keller, but I'd say like overall, like I'd say he's a little bit better. He's got more stuff, and then you got Kerkering. It's you don't have to go to Keller as much, especially in his past couple of outings. He's blowing these games.
Yeah, and that's probably why that there's just less trust there, just because of what he's kind of been doing, and it is weird because like it's not like obviously the starting pitching this past weekend has been fantastic, right? But at the same time, like you would have thought that you would see Keller eventually, but they're putting in Boland over Keller, which I never thought I'd say in May. You know what I mean? Like that's just so odd to me. But I don't know. So he's a weird one, and then I think that they like not having the issue of putting Keller in and then Alvarado because again, love Jose Alvarado, right? I love the energy, but that guy has the very similar issue to Brad Keller in that it is either the easiest inning of all time or he's going to be wild and they're going to hit him and he's going to get hit all over the place. Especially
he's a wild card.
He's all over the place, but they kind of have to use him because he's a lefty, and who else are you going to put in? Tanner Banks? It's just not going to happen. But yeah, so the bullpen is kind of weird, and I love this is not like a like I don't think Duran's not very good. Like obviously I love Joan Duran, but I will say Joan Duran's like kind of the similar, but except he just doesn't let up runs. If that makes sense, like Duran gets hit around a little bit, if that
It's
makes
all right.
sense.
It's the thing with him. It's soft contact. Like the other night, I know he gave
Yes,
up the home run, but it's like if you
yeah, that was
watch
good.
the pitch, it's like
Mm-hmm.
who was it?
Manzardo.
Manzardo. It's like
Yeah,
he was almost. I know it was like down the middle. It was like he was kind of late on it.
he was,
He was late.
which is why I went to left center field, right? I
Yeah.
think, and obviously is behind on that, but that is the one kind of knock on Duran. Like it's not like a 1, 2, 3. There's usually like a random hit or like a walk in there, but yeah, I for some reason I thought this bullpen was going to be like the best in baseball, and it's like very they're like the middle of the pack. They're not the 2019 Phillies where you have Brandon Workman in it with his 8 ERA or like someone like that. Like they're obviously not that. And but
No.
they're also not the 2022 Phillies where their bullpen was just lockdown. But they're somewhere in the middle. So that I guess that's a good thing. Yeah. What else? What else do you want to talk about, Caleb? We got.
So we are over 1 hour.
We are.
I say
We made
let's
it.
look at their upcoming schedule. So
Ooh.
they have 3 games against the Padres in San Diego. Off
Love it.
Thursday, 3 games against the Dodgers in LA.
That'll be a fun
3
series.
games against the Padres in Philly.
I'll be at the Thursday one.
So what's that?
I'll be at that Thursday game.
Oh,
Doing
that's
it
gonna be a lot of fun.
right, and then they play the White Sox, which is
Yes.
hopefully okay.
Then the White Sox followed by the Blue Jays. So
Mm-hmm.
the next 9 games could be
It's a
tough.
big stretch.
I
It's a
think
big stretch.
this is going to be. I don't want to say the make or the break,
Yeah.
but
Right.
this this very well could be the series that exposes whatever holes that we may have.
Yeah. It's funny. Like the Dodgers are so good. I just did not realize that we play them next weekend. That is that. This is a big kind of 3 series.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that, by the way, whoever made the schedule, so why are we playing the Padres in back-to-back weeks? What are we doing? What are we doing?
I don't know, dude.
Right? Like why are we doing this? Whatever. And then also not giving us an off day today to travel. If you also think about it, like what is happening? Whatever. Yeah, and the Padres have probably the best closer in the whole league, being Mason Miller. He's so good.
I think that I think we
Yeah.
score a run off of him. I think
Hope so.
Harper or Schwarber gets a hold of one off of him and just
Hope so.
crushes it.
Prime
I
Harper
don't
Schwarber
know
definitely.
I don't know if we'll win the series, but I do think that we will be the team that knocks a run off of Miller.
I hope so. If that happens, I'm clipping this. By the way, clipping what you just said, and posting it. But you did try to speak it into existence, so I like it. But I feel like the biggest series was obviously that Dodgers series. Like that Dodgers series is going to not only tell us how good that team is compared to like the best team in the league, but also tell them that you are nowhere close to this team. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you are nowhere close to this. Like that is the ideal team. And the funny thing is, Shohei Ohtani's not having the greatest year of all time.
No, he's not.
And
Neither is Kyle Tucker.
exactly. And yet they're still so good. And it's just the Dodgers. They're literally the living reason why we're about to have a salary cap. So that'll be, I mean, I will say, with all that being said, I am very excited for that series. That's gonna be a fun one. And then they have to play the Padres again, which I think is outrageous. But okay, yeah, that's a big stretch. At least afterwards, like the Blue Jays have not been the Blue Jays of last year, so that's good. And then the White Sox right before them, which is good. But then they go to Milwaukee, which is not great. And then eventually we play the Mets finally in middle of June, which is
that might be a bit of a shit off.
That a bit that is going to be a shit off. But then look, they do it again. So okay, again, random rant, but they do Mets, Phillies, right, in Philadelphia. Then we go to Washington, and then we go to New York to play the Mets again. Why are we doing this? Like, that's okay, whatever. That who's making these schedules? That is so dumb.
I don't know.
Right? That is so dumb. Okay, well, this is the big stretch.
Yep. Big 9 game stretch coming up. Starting at 6:40 tonight.
Yeah, is that all we have? I think yes.
Yeah, I think that is all we have.
Yeah, we're by the way, we Caleb made a really long list of like good things to talk about. I think we've hit like all of them, right?
Yeah, no, we definitely, because I mean, a lot of, I think a big part that I want to talk about, we definitely did hit it, was talking about minor league depth and some dudes who could
Yeah.
come up. We'll see what happens after this. I think this 9 game, like if we go 0 for 9 and Turner keeps slumping, I want to know what they're going to do.
I feel the exact same way because again, this is a huge part of the schedule here. So it's a really big gut check for some reason in May. Like didn't think I'd say that like a month ago, but
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
a
like,
big
this is usually something that if
Yep.
we were to say it, would be like July,
Yeah,
maybe
August.
like late June, but
Yeah.
no, May, and we're like,
No.
oh shit.
No, it's May. A gut check in May, which is ridiculous. But all right, well, thank you all so much for listening or watching us today.
Yes.
I could tell you right now that I know me personally, I'm gonna want you to come back, obviously, Caleb, but we could be like more consistent now that we're like home and not like all over the place, like with like graduating and all that. So stay tuned to definitely see our faces at least once a week. So that'll be so much fun. At least, I mean, I love doing this, so this is just like fun. But yes, thank you all so much for listening to us today. Check us out on Instagram, Spotify, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, everything. So appreciate you all listening to us today, and we will see you in the next one. Go Phils. Hopefully the next time that we talk, it'll be more positive. We try our best.
I hope. Not a no stand coming up.
9-0. That would be ideal, at least.
Yep.
That would be ideal. All right. We'll see you in the next one. Go Phils.
Peace.